We'll create an EC2 instance using Terraform in this lab 1.2. Okay, so here so some steps are repeated. Okay, we have installed Terraform using this command. Okay, this we already did in lab 1.1. Okay, now we'll go to EC2 console. So this is my EC2 dashboard. Okay, and if you see that we have AMIs here, these are the AMIs. Okay, and select the AMI and click on launch instance. So just see public images. Just search for Ubuntu. So we can choose anything from here, but it is not so easy. So what we'll go do is we'll just go to instances, click on launch instance. So let's go to Ubuntu and we'll choose Ubuntu 22. Confirm the changes and we'll copy this AMI ID. Okay, so I will not use what is given in the exercise. We'll use this one. This is for US East 1 region. I'll just copy it. That's it from the UI. Then in the previous exercise, when we created the EC2 instance, we didn't create the key. Okay, so and generally when we create the keys, okay, what we do is at the time of installation we create the key pair. Okay, so this key pair which we create, it gives us the private key. Okay, the private key, the public key is with the AWS. It copies the generated key pair public key in that EC2 instance. Okay, and the private key is given to us. Okay, but that is not so secured way. The best method would be create the key. Okay, we should create the key on our system. Okay, and the private key will be with us. Okay, they should not be shared over the internet. So when it creates, it gives us an option to download the key, and the private key we download it. Okay, so in this case what we will do is we'll create a key. Okay, so when we click on this, it is creating a key pair. Okay, so remember, it will always create it in a .ssh directory. Wherever I am, it will always create it in a .ssh directory. In .ssh rd underscore rsa. Okay, here we are saving the key. We are using all the default option. Okay, remember this. So if you see, this is our private key. Okay, and this is the public key, and it is this combination which is always used. We do not use the password based authentication. This is the private key which will be always with us, and this is the public key. Okay, so we'll need this public key. Now let's create an EC2 instance. So I'll create this directory structure again. So I'm creating different directory structure so that there is no conflict of the code. I'm in EC2 directory now. Okay, I created one more directory called Terraform, and inside it I created EC2 directory. Now I'll create one more main.tf file. Okay, and here we'll give the path for the public key as well. Get main.tf. So our main.tf is created. Let me explain it. So the first part is provider, AWS provider. Using this, it will download the plugins which are required. Okay, it will create all the resources in US East 1 region, Then we are launching an EC2 instance. Okay, so again, this is the AWS syntax. The name for the block is this one. Okay, and we copied one EMI ID. So it was for Ubuntu 20, but let's use our Ubuntu 22 AMI ID. Okay, I'll just replace it. You can continue with this Ubuntu 20 ID as well, but I think Ubuntu 20 is no more supported. So let's continue with Ubuntu 22. Then we are giving it a tag as well. The whatever when we create an EC2 instance. Okay, so this part is the tag actually. Okay, the name which we give it is a tag, and we are saying that use this key pair, AWS key pair. Okay, so it will create a key pair. Okay, but while creating a key pair, it will use our public key. Okay, so how it is using our public key? Just now we created a public key. Okay, so tilde slash means go to the home directory. Okay, so my home directory is slash home ubuntu. Okay, so it will go to the slash home ubuntu dot ssh and I id underscore rsa dot pub. This is the public key. So just to ls hyphen ld. Okay, this is the path. Okay, instead of writing slash ubuntu home, I'm just saying search my home directory for a public key. So why this approach is used? Because suppose you all are using and you are not using ubuntu user, maybe you will be using some other user. Okay, at that time this approach is useful rather than hard coding the ubuntu user. It can be for any home directory, and my home directory should always have a public file, public key. Okay, so this key, it will create a key pair using this public key. So private key will be always with me, and the public key will be created, will be inside this key pair, and it will also add it in an EC2 instance. Okay, so as my public key is there and private key will be on my this system, the key pair combination will work and I'll be able to authenticate. Okay, so let's start Terraform init. And yesterday, as I explained how the calculation is done, so it will create a key pair. Okay, this block will create a key pair. Okay, so whenever we want to use that key pair, whatever the output it gave, okay, I'll have to use AWS key pair. Here name is AWS key pair dot my key pair dot my key pair, and after that we need a name. Okay, again I'll explain how to get this. Sometime it is name, sometime it is id, or something else. We need a name. Okay, so whatever output it gives, it will be appended here. Okay, so Terraform init is done. Now do Terraform plan. So if you see the AMI ID which we selected is here. Okay, and then T2 micro which we selected, then the name of the key pair we gave was my key pair. It will be created. Okay, it will give a tag web server, and it is also creating a key pair block. Okay, the key name will be this, but the id will be known after creation, and the key, the public key is this one. So this public key is going to be transferred to the AWS. Okay, now just so it is creating two resources. One is key pair, another is EC2 instance. Just click on Terraform, apply. So it has started creating an EC2 instance. So it created an EC2 instance. Let's go to our EC2 dashboard and refresh. Okay, so the web server is created and it has the public IP, this one. So only for getting this public IP, I'll have to go to console. Okay, and from my system, okay, I'll do SSH. Okay, and I'm already an Ubuntu user. Okay, so I don't need to provide here -l Ubuntu or Ubuntu at 54. Just SSH. It will ask for confirmation and see if we are connected. 168. So it has 168. So it is quite easy and secured as well because the private key is on my own system. Okay, and I don't need to share with anyone. Even if someone gets the public IP, okay, the private IP is with me only. Sorry, the public key, the private key is with me only, so nobody can access this system except me. Okay, so that was for EC2 instance and creating key pair. So if you see here, the key pair is also created. Just search for key pair. So my key pair, which is created just now. Okay, today is 6th. It created today. So let's destroy. Terraform destroy. Okay, so destroy will be completed.